Good morning to our listeners and viewers across Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, South Africa, and wider East African region. Welcome to Leadership Beyond South, a Pale Media program where we reflect on leadership, governance, and responsibility that comes from, or rather with, power. And today we speak not as outsiders, but as East Africans, bound by shared history, culture, and aspirations for peace, dignity, and freedom. In recent remarks, public exchanges involving General Muhoozi, son of Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni, and the CNN international journalist have sparked intense debate across the region. The conversation touched on sensitive but important issues: leadership, human rights, freedom of expression, and future of democracy in Uganda and East Africa as a whole. Uganda, like many other nations, has known both struggle and resilience. From rebellion movements to long-standing governments, leadership in East Africa has often been shaped by security concerns, historical conflict, and desire for stability. However, stability without accountability can slowly become silence enforced by fear. Statements attributed by senior military and political figures, especially when they appear to threaten political opponents or citizens with differing views, raise concerns not just for Uganda but for the region. Because when human rights are weakened in one country, the ripple effects are felt across borders. International journalists, including the voices from CNN, have questioned whether Ugandan's political space allows free expression, fair competition, and protection of dissenting voices. These questions are not acts of hostility, they're part of global democratic discourse, the same discourse that helped shape modern constitutions across East Africa. Leadership beyond South is leadership that welcomes scrutiny, not silences it. In our African traditions, leadership was never absolute. Elders were questioned, kings were advised, chiefs were held accountable to the people. True authority came from service, not intimidation. For many young people across East Africa, in Kampala, Uganda, Arusha, Kigali, and Juba, this conversation is deeply personal. It speaks to unemployment, political exclusion, police brutality, and shrinking space for free expression both online and offline. When leaders speak carelessly, it is the youth who feels the consequences first. Human rights are not a Western concept, they are African values. The right to live, the right to speak, the right to disagree without fear. Leadership beyond South understands that power is borrowed from the people and must one day be returned peacefully. This moment in Uganda invites reflection, not confrontation. It invites leaders to ask themselves, are we building institutions that outlive individuals? Are we preparing nations or protecting positions? History has shown us across Africa that nations grow stronger when leadership is guided by humility, restraint, and respect for human dignity. As East Africans, we must encourage leadership that unites rather than divides, leadership that listens rather than threatens, leadership that understands that security without freedom is fragile. The future of our regions depend not on family names, military ranks, and political longevity, but on ethical leadership anchored in justice and humanity. This has been Leadership Beyond South, a Pale Media Group broadcast. I am Isaac Leonard. Thank you for listening and may our leadership always rise beyond self for the good of our people. Have a blessed day, and if you're a new subscriber, continue subscribing.